Coming to you from my basement in beautiful Chicago, this is LesCast. I am your host, Amanda Costner. We are recapping the L Word Generation Q Season 3, Episode 4, and then we're all going to go to Nanaka for dinner.
Oh yeah, Nanaka. The hottest spot.
Right? Joining me to recap this episode is someone you may have seen on Lesbian TikTok. She is a member of the Mighty Dames, a really awesome community that is all about female empowerment, and they do jujitsu and all kinds of really cool stuff. Make sure you check them out at themightydames.com. Please help me welcome to the podcast, Torrie O'Neil.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be dope because, like I said, like any millennial lesbian, like the L word has been injected into my veins since like middle school, so I'm always down to talk about it.
Okay, perfect. Because my first question was going to be, are you an OG watcher? Are you a newer fan? You are injected since middle school.
Listen, I am like I don't know if it was like late middle school or early high school, but I watched all of it. I think I caught it the first time I watched. I think I caught it at the tail end of like the first season. But I tell my girlfriend this now. Like I have very distinct memories of like watching this show at home with my head like to the stereo. It like turned to like number 2 volume because like my really religious mother does not. I do not want her walking in on me seeing like Shane and Carmen fucking on the screen. So I'm just like,
right, yes.
I'm just like sitting there like, and this is like yeah. So yeah, I'm an OG watcher.
Wow. So how have you found the reboot so far?
Okay, so we all agree that like the L word is very problematic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
So we're there. So I tried to rewatch and like to prep for it, and I think I got to like season 2. And I was like, I'm not gonna do that to myself. I don't want this. I don't want to like judge this season. So season 1, I was into it. Season 2, I was more into it. Season 3, kind of been. I won't say that I'm hate watching at this point, but it feels very distinctly close to hate watching. I like some of the characters. I despise some of the other characters. And I realized that like watching this as a 15-year-old versus watching this as a 32-year-old, baby, the characters hit different.
Yes,
like the characters definitely hit different.
Mm-hmm. Well, you wouldn't be the only one if you were hate watching.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe half the fan base, that's what's going on. They're hate watching.
Hate watching and YouTube clips is like kind of like my bread and butter at this point.
Yep. That's my catharsis is making the YouTube clips.
There you go. You have to find joy in this, or it's just really sad.
Especially this episode, right?
Oh, listen. Oh, okay.
Pretty dark.
Listen, I had a couple highlights, but like overall, I'm just like, what the fuck? There's a lot of like in my notes just saying no. Yes.
Well, let's just jump in. We start off with Danny meeting Sophie and Finn at Dana's. I think that was Dana's for brunch. Yeah. Torrie, if you discover your fiance has been cheating with your mutual friend on your wedding day, are you like grabbing brunch with them a year later?
Listen, what the heck? Like, why are they friends? Look, okay, maybe because I'm like a small town gay that I don't understand this like mentality. I'm a scorched earth kind of gal. I feel like they scorch the earth. Like, and then they're all hanging out. Like, they still live in the house that you used to live. Like, they're like all getting along, all friends.
They're like making out in front of her.
They're making cute jokes, and they're like, I don't understand it. Like, I already just like don't like Finley's character. Like I knew so many people like that in my 20s, and like I said the 30s, I never again. Mm-hmm. But like, how are they still like? I'm clearly not that mature because there's no way in hell.
No, I'm not either. First of all, I'm super jealous. I would not get over that.
No, dude, she came into your wedding with some ripped jeans and a fucking hat.
Yep.
and just like come on, man. Like
And
how
she peed in her hallway
she
too.
peed in her oh like I blocked that part out. Oh like yeah, like I don't understand. I do not understand. Like the same bar that she sung karaoke with her, you're hang okay, cool, 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 cool.
Mhm. Well, I think they're just doing it because otherwise the show is just too much like I think
Yeah,
Marja Lewis Ryan wants chaos, but like
yeah,
if there's no like Ben and Tina are gone, they need them to be a friend group again. But they
yeah.
blew that up last season.
Yeah, like that do they plan? Like there has to be like a long-term plan, right? Or they're just like,
I
it'd be
don't think
really
so.
like, it'd be fun this episode. Um, but yeah, man, I
Throw it
don't
all in the garbage.
wait, I have one other question. Like, it's Halloween. Does the L word ever do holidays?
I think this is like a new thing for them.
Yeah, like
I
I
don't
saw that
remember.
I don't remember any like holiday. And then like I was like, okay, cool. Weird, but cool.
I mean, I think we're learning why they don't do holidays because this Halloween celebration. I mean, what? How did you think
Yeah.
of all the costumes? Like, not a lot of fun.
I will say, like, as far as creativity, like everyone gets like a D minus. Like there was
Hmm.
not a lot of good stuff going on there. I mean, if you're gonna really, especially if you're at Dana's, if you're gonna do a Halloween like theme, man, you gotta like really either like really hoe it up or go really ridiculous because they're like, we'll get to that later, but they're trying to like sexy up Sophie. I'm like, they didn't really achieve the goal. Like
No,
I want
no.
some top tier hoe shit if we're gonna do
Hmm.
it. Like, don't give me like the watered down version of it. So, I
Yes.
mean, mm,
Tessa's mom and Angie's costumes were good, and other than that,
yes, yeah, I'm here for the Dolly Parton love. But besides that, and yeah, no, everyone else could. They all could have done better.
mhm, mhm. We learn the infamous Roxy is coming into town. We also learn Danny has been in orgies. Uptight Danny.
Like season one, Danny is so far, like so far in the background. Like this one is like an ice cream eating champion, and she's having orgies, going to leather parties. Like, who the fuck's this? I like this Danny, but like,
Who is
what?
Danny?
What
Who
did
even
Papa D?
is?
Like, what did her dad have to say to all this shit? Like, when did this happen?
And
This
is
is
he still in jail? Like, what's
who the heck?
happening?
Like, where is he? Like, where is her? I don't just.
That's another one that's another way we know they don't plan anything out.
Yeah,
Just
no.
like
Like,
27 dropped plot lines per
forget
episode.
all the plot lines. Fast forward a year. We don't got to explain shit.
Mm-mm. I do we can move on from this scene eventually, but I do want to play this one short clip I
Okay,
pulled up because it
let's
just
do it.
really stuck out to me. It's a small moment here. Roxy's nickname for Danny is D-bag.
I mean, I want to say I'm surprised, but like, man, I go to a gym. There's some really fucked up things there too.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
like, yeah, but no, that's
Like that
what?
makes me think of douchebag.
Yeah, like I don't. That was not. I feel like that's one of those things where the actress probably just said, like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna throw D bag out there," and she responded positively to it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was weird.
I
It was
thought so
weird.
too. That's a good point though. It may not have been in the script.
Yeah, she could have done better though.
Yeah. Taylor wakes up in Alice's bed. Of course, Taylor, played by Joey Lauren Adams. And it turns out Taylor has not left Alice's house in 48 hours.
That's typical. Typical first hookup. We're just gonna live here for the weekend. Never.
Is this a lesbian thing?
I would like to say no, but like I saw it happen with my girl.
Oh,
We went on a date, and then like the next thing I knew was like, yeah, I gotta go home, right? No, we're fine.
no. We're falling in love.
Yeah. No, why was Alice just like creepily watching her with her toothbrush?
I don't know. When they started that scene, I thought it was a vibrator.
Yes. And then I'm just like sitting there, she's just like, I'm like, don't stare at people. Like, and she's no, that's so weird. And she was smiling too. The whole thing.
Yeah. So what did you think of this plotline for them? I kind of liked it, but I was also disappointed that they never joined Dana's at any point.
Yeah, that seems like I mean, let's be honest, of all of the people who did Halloween, doesn't it feel like Alice would be the one to, like, really dress up and, like, have a
Mhm.
fun time of it? So, like, yeah, I'm kinda surprised, especially given how much her and Shane support each other. I was kinda surprised she wasn't there, but, like, I also know what it's like to get stuck in, like, like a sex cocoon where, like, I'm just gonna stay here with this person, and
You're in a
you
sex
can't
cocoon.
they can't be more than, like, 15 to 20 feet away from a bed or a horizontal surface. So, like, I understand why they're staying in the house, but, like, I feel like it's not very Alice.
Yeah. But I must have been that good. They
I
must be.
mean I mean, she was exhausted, so it must have been something.
Back at Shane and Tess's, Shane has, of course, I mentioned, dressed Tess's mom to the nines, like Dolly Parton,
Yeah.
but Tess cannot be bothered to notice Shane.
Yeah, sad girl Shane. I mean, okay, I get it. Yes, you're supposed to be attentive to your partner, but I mean, like, I feel like a little bit of this is like Shane already did dirty, so she's trying to kinda, clean it up and like, "Oh, yeah, don't forget about dinner," and all of that, but, being a caretaker to like to a parent is already hard enough, and with the bar stuff, I'm probably putting more of myself into test right now than I need to, but, you're adults. Stress happens. Sometimes you can't do all these little cutie things that you wanna do sometimes, especially, like, in that moment. So I feel like Shane was just it was definitely a sad girl Shane moment, but, like, at the same time, like, it's fine. You're being overly dramatic right now. You
No, I
it
like
was
the
her excuse.
yes, and I think you're right when you say she already cheated, so
Mhm.
she really needs to make Tess the bad guy to make herself feel better.
Exactly. She needed a moment to be like, "Well, since she's not here, like, I have to fuck this girl. Like, what else am I going to do?"
I mean, though, Gilani, she
I
kinda
mean,
does.
literally what I said in my notes is multiple I was like, "I understand, but no." Like, I totally understand, but no.
PSA, cheating is still wrong even if you're not getting along with your partner.
It is very wrong, but in this case, I get it. Like, a
A little bit right.
little I mean, yeah, we all love Tess, but,
Do you think they were trying to show that Tess is, like, too involved with her mother? Because it kinda goes sour by the end of the episode with her and her
yeah,
mom.
I think that's what they were trying to play it off as, is like she was just so, that she's, like, pseudo neglectful of Shane because she's so focused on work and her mom, but, I mean, what child wouldn't? Like, I'm sorry, if it's, like, helping my ailing parent or, like, going to Nanaka's, like, I feel like in this instance, like, she'll be okay,
But
like,
Tori, Nanaka is, like, a hot spot
I
in
mean
LA.
but she's Shane. She should be able to go anywhere
True.
on, like, a Tuesday night with the phone call and a haircut, so, it's like, she should be fine anyway.
Good point. She's got a private no, I don't think she has a private jet. She just rides in private jets.
Don't even get me started on how Shane came back into this, like,
What an entrance.
a mess.
We learn Micah and Maribel have set up a meeting of sorts with friends of Maribel's. This is, of
Mhm.
course, how we're going to see Max later in the episode. My favorite part of the episode. But what are your thoughts on this, like Micah, Maribel having kids plotline?
Okay, I'm okay with it because there's multiple, like, lesbian queer couples in here because I feel like they always try to throw a baby at somebody. I'm interested in it just because the dynamic of it, and plus, I typically I'm not even gonna lie, I have disliked Micah for, like, the first 2 seasons, so this is the most it's my girlfriend's name is Micah, so every time I say
Oh,
that
oh, that must be weird.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I've disliked Micah for a while. This is the most I've liked Micah. Like, this and this paired with her, their whole little dynamic, it's the most I've liked Micah. This episode may be the pinnacle of the most I've ever liked Micah. So it's only gonna go downhill from here. Can't get any better than it is right
It
now.
does feel like when the fans, like, find something they can grab onto, like, I feel like more fans are getting into Finley and, Sophie, but and so now I'm like, "Oh, they're gonna for sure break them up."
Well, they're fools because it's a terrible combination, but, that's my own bias.
So you this is the most you've liked Micah. It's interesting because they portray him as, like, the guy who can't have fun this episode.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's kinda how they've always portrayed Micah, right? It's always been sad boy
True.
Micah. Like, there's always, like, someone's doing Micah wrong, he can't find the guy he wants, his mom's not really like, Micah's not tell me when Micah's been fun.
I got nothing.
Exactly. So this is, like, again, the most I've liked Micah is when they're talking about a kid. Like, when it's
Yeah.
yeah, so, like, I feel like that's kinda who Micah is, he's not a lot of fun, and that's okay, like, not
Yep.
everyone not okay, I'd take a Micah over a Finley. So, do I want pure fun, or do I want someone who's a little bit duddish? I'll take a dud over a Finley any day.
I mean, he wore the avocado costume at the end, so
And at least he has, like, a job most of the time, so I'll take Micah.
Meanwhile, Angie is continuing to see her professor. I can see your face, Tori. It seems you might be. I don't know any fans who are into this plot line.
Because they knew we liked Angie too much, so they had to do something to make us dislike her, and all I could think by watching this whole story is like, "Yeah, this is definitely Bet Porter's daughter, because this is some Bet Porter behavior right here."
Yep, very bad.
No, I hate this. I hate this so much. Um, I hate the weirdness of the power dynamics, and, like, she isn't even, like, a junior or a senior. Girl is, like,
Mhm.
just getting into college. That's sketch to me. I do not like it at all.
You know, they did the same thing on the first season of The Sex Lives of College Girls,
Yep. Oh
and
my god, love that show too.
me too, isn't it so good?
That's so good.
I'm loving season 2 so far.
I
Uh,
love it. I'm
yeah,
loving every
so
minute of
funny.
it.
Why are these shows, like, going with these older men dating an 18 not dating, I'm sorry, preying upon an 18-year-old, or I don't know. I honestly don't know how the show sees this relationship, but
I but, this is common. They've done this. Remember, like, I don't know if you watch Pretty Little Liars?
no, I didn't watch that
Oh,
one.
they had, like, a high school kid who was, like, dating her teacher, who
Ugh.
they met previously, like, at a bar or something, but, like, I don't know why people think that that type of power dynamic, that teacher versus student I mean, it's very fan fiction. I don't know why that is so attractive to people. It's not for me because all I can see is, like, the drastic experience differential, the okay, I'm a rule follower, so I'm like, "Dude, how are you boning your teacher?" Like, that's such a conflict of interest, like, that's just not I'm not here for it, but I guess it's that whole taboo, that whole forbidden thing. It does nothing for me, and plus, I don't like him because his hairline, his fade is not good, and it really bothers me. It just stops. It's like, it really bothers me. He's okay, but, like, Angie, you could do so much better than this guy. I mean, come on.
Yeah, when they gave us that trailer where Angie's like, "Oh, this is gonna be my hoe phase," but that's not really what
N
they did. They went a whole
literally got a
different direction.
literally got a boyfriend in, like, 4 episodes.
Mhm.
That's but you isn't that typically how some people that's how my hoe phase went. I expected to have a beautiful hoe phase. I was ready to just, throw it out there, and I ended up in a fucking 3-year relationship. So, like, how does
Same.
see? Oh, crap. See, it doesn't yeah, hoe phases are not sound.
Yep. No, that's a good point, actually. All great love starts at the beginning of a hoe phase.
I'm starting to believe that. I'm really starting to believe that because 'cause you're more open, You're like, "I'm down for anything," and then, like, Cupid, that asshole, just like, "Really? Are you open for a long-term commitment? Because that's what I got for you."
That's what I'm sending into your heart.
Yeah.
So the next part of the episode was probably, like, definitely my favorite of the whole episode when Max walks down the stairs at the Halloween party. Tori, what did you think of the reintroduction of Max and getting to see the family Max and Reese have built together?
Oh my god, literally every time Max is on here, my nose just says, "Max!" I was so like I know that, like, there's a lot of history of, like, the negative representation of Max. I love Max. I always think there was always, like, a innocence or, like, a purity kinda around that character that, like, you could tell that, like, the joke was on them, not that they were in on the joke, and I always would, like, watch it, like, "Why the fuck are you friends with these people?"
Mm,
And now I'm so glad to know that, like, he they haven't seen them for years.
right.
So, like, I was happy about that, but I love because it looks like Max has created a very happy life for themselves. I love the little retcon that Max is non-binary. I love the relationship that they have, their little kids, the cute little names they call them. I am so I screw the other shit. Just let me watch Max and Reese.
Yeah.
Make them like my new Fosters. I wanna watch
Yes.
them prosper. That's it. I've loved Max. And you know what? Max is aging quite well. Still
I
got
agree.
gorgeous eyes, chiseled chin. Like, I'm here for Max.
Yeah, I was looking at some old footage of Max and then compared with this episode, and I was like, "Oh, yeah. Similar hair, but, like, a little different, a little more
Mhm,
modern, and, like,
mhm.
not a lot of aging has happened."
Max has always been very handsome.
Yeah.
Like, very handsome. Like, I feel like yeah, Max has always been very handsome. It's just like we just hated everything done to Max. So I'm happy to know that, like, in this fucked up L word universe, Max got a happily ever
Yes.
after in it.
Yes, and, this is skipping ahead, but the show essentially apologizes to Max, and I was like,
Mm,
"Yes,
I'm
as they
I'm
should."
yeah, they should, but, like, this is one where Bet needs to come, she needs to fly down and give her apology.
Right?
Jenny needs to rise out of that swimming pool and give her apology. Like,
Alice.
A
Yep,
oh my god, Al this is more reason why I was mad Alice wasn't there because Alice definitely should have been the one, like,
for
because I feel like
sure.
she was probably the most transphobic person on the show. I feel like Alice should have been, like, on her knees apologizing to Max.
I
So, but
totally
I
agree.
yeah.
Yeah, I just love seeing Max as a parent. I do
Yes.
I d Were you sure is Max's first child the one that Max was pregnant with? Is that
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay. That's
yeah.
what I thought. Okay.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was great.
yeah, I'm just so happy that, like, I guess everyone deserves to be happy, but, like, Max really deserved to be happy. So I'm glad everything worked out.
Me too, me too. And, as somebody I just got married like a year
Ah!
ago, and, my wife and I are discussing, how are we gonna build our family.
Mhm.
So for, queer we had representation with Bet and Tina and Angie, but this is also great representation
Yeah.
and how like, these two people and their families and their children have come together and it was just so beautiful.
Yeah, it has, like, the aspects of, like, not the blended family, not just a it's not just a lesbian family or a gay family, it's a queer family and that, like, I like the idea of bringing in, like, showing what non-binary parents look like. So I'm all for that type of representation because again, like, this is still something else that we're not seeing on TV, so it's nice to see that, and it's even it's really nice too to see that, like, Daniel C is, like, that's the person who gets to do it again and kind of right this time. I'm really excited for that. So yeah, I like seeing we like seeing representation in different forms, and I'm glad that this was the couple to talk. That's why I said this is the most I've liked um Micah is this pairing I really like, and I love that they brought them together with this couple.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Back at Dana's, Sophie mentions Shane isn't super faithful, and Finn immediately denies it could be
Mhm.
true. Tori, why does Finn have such a hard time believing Shane would cheat on Tess? Like, did she not watch the OG series?
Listen, because she has some parenting issues there. She got some mommy and daddy issues, and for some reason, like, even though she's had sex with Tess, they've become like her surrogate parents in a way.
Oh, yes.
I feel like she kinda looks at them, like, as she says later, as, like, the ideal. So she's ready to defend Shane to like the death. So it's not surprising that that's how it kind of worked out, but it's kind of like, girl, it's it's Shane. Like,
Mhm.
this is not who you should be looking at as a role model.
Yeah.
So yeah, and honestly, this is I'm glad Sophie said something because like I'm all for blowing Shane's spot up.
Yep, yep.
I'm
I
all
thought
for
they
it.
were gonna have Sophie actually, but Shane blew it up all on her
Yeah,
own.
Shane blew her. Oh my god, like, bro, Shane, you should be smoother than this. You've been doing the same shit since your 20s,
You would think.
and like, come on, girl. She's getting sloppy with their old age. That's
Yeah,
all I
because you
got.
could see Tessa's silhouette kind of behind her. Don't you feel I can, like, feel if my wife is behind me and I'm like, "Oh my god."
I look, when we get there, I have a whole
Okay.
issues with that scene. Like,
Yes,
who get
yes.
yeah.
Well, the big question for me of the episode, which, like, we kinda touched on at the beginning, was Sophie's costume really that bad? It's raining cats and dogs. I mean, I
Well,
know we agree they didn't, like, really improve it.
it wasn't good, and it wasn't good for that setting. Like,
Yeah,
if she was at the kid party with the moms, oh, that would've killed.
big hit.
That would've, like, been a huge hit, but at a bar? No, that was terrible. And then she even says, like, "Oh, I spent all afternoon." Why? There's a spirit on every corner. You coulda got something infinitely better for less time and probably cheaper. Like, she had an idea in her head, and she's like, "Oh, I'm doing this, and it's gonna be epic."
Mhm.
And it wasn't like I said,
She's
it wasn't horrible that, like, that was not the venue for that costume.
Do you know what is Roxy supposed to be?
I think a vampire?
Oh, that makes
I think I
sense.
saw teeth, and she looked really kinda palish, but, like,
Yeah, okay.
not that Danny did the super mean girls thing and just threw a pair of cat ears.
Mhm. Yep. That was totally reminding me of Mean Girls. Yeah.
Yeah, just like, "Ah, thank" but even that, as low effort as that is, was still infinitely better than that damn raincoat.
Yeah, the
There's no
raincoat, not hot inside a
Yeah,
bar.
and then she gets, like, the typical yellow, thick, like, you could at least done, like, a see-through kinda thing.
Ooh, do they make
Y
see-through raincoats?
Oh my god, yeah, they do.
Ooh, that's
They make,
awesome.
like, see-through ones with, like it's mostly for kids, with, like, it's like a layer of pink I don't know why I know this. Never mind, continue.
No, I'm gonna have to look into this. That sounds cool. One more person. Who is Finn supposed to be?
I don't know, she looks like some greaser, like, from the '50s or something. She had a fucking toothpick in her mouth, and she has, like, slicked back, so it looks like she kinda has side I don't know. And you know what? I don't like Finley, but I don't like dark hair Finley. Bring back the blonde hair.
Oh, I feel like a lot of the fans are into the brunette look.
Is this, like, serious Finley? Is that how we know she's not playful because she's not blonde now?
That's what I had a 100% shipper on earlier on, I think, episode 1, and she was like, "Oh, this is the writers telling us, along with the green high-waisted panties, like,
Of course. Of
new Finn
course.
is in town."
Yeah, yeah, she cannot continue her sober journey being a carefree blonde. You know, the brunettes are the serious ones in the bunch, so, I mean,
Right?
yeah, it makes complete sense.
That's why I go half and half, sometimes
There
serious.
you go, diversity, there you go.
Should we okay, next, Micah and Maribel finally get their big meeting,
Mhm.
and it did get a little weird, I thought, when Max and Reese were basically, like, calling out their relationship and be like, "Oh, you need therapy."
I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't need therapy? But
Mhm.
I this is my thing, you went to them for advice. You
True.
went to them for advice, and it's like, it's about a kid too, so, like, I don't want anyone comforting me. I want you to tell me the truth, and, I mean, who amongst us doesn't have some level of daddy issues? I get it, but the thing is, it's like, it's true, you can't take what I feel like what's her name? What Reese said was appropriate. She said it about as jokingly as possible, like, "Hey, you gotta get rid of that because like, it will come back and bite you." And it will. I feel like she was just super defensive because she wasn't it seems like she thought this meeting was gonna be all for Micah.
Mhm.
It was gonna be all about the things Micah wants to know and all that, and she's kind of been like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm gonna smash this." So when it got turned on her, she was on like, what the fuck?"
Wait, he's the one
Oh,
that needs help. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that's what it was. Um, So I get it. I get it. Like when you're not expecting judgment and someone gives it to you, but at the same time, it's like you kind of invited this because you said you wanted to speak about this, and it's not just Micah who needs to work on some issues before bringing a kid in.
And I'm like a pretty blunt person. I appreciate when people are just telling me their honest thoughts.
Brutal honesty is the way to go. I mean,
I will
yeah, you can be kind of an asshole, but like I don't ever want it said that like you hadn't been told and that I didn't expressly say how I felt about a situation. So she'll be
Nope.
all right. She's a big girl.
Yeah, I will say it's a little hard to get a therapist these days.
Oh my, you know what? I hate how people are like, just like, go to therapy, go to therapy. Therapy's fucking expensive, man. It's
Mhm.
real. Like I got spoiled in the pandemic because like a lot of people my insurance was doing free therapy. And so
Oh, wow.
I had free therapy for almost 2 years. And they cut that shit off. And I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
do I need therapy? Because I was going like every week. I had a full dialogue, I had a plan. Now it's like, okay, I'm just gonna hit once a month to like hit the hot topics. Because like I'm not paying this much out of pocket just to talk to this broad. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think for queer people too, sometimes it can be hard to find therapists that are queer friendly. The good ones are all taken, they're all
Oh,
busy.
oh my gosh. The best therapist that I had, because I had to go through a few of them, was a gay Latino dude in Miami, and I cannot like I switched insurances and I haven't been able to get to him. Every other one has been like 1 or 2 sessions. I'm like, I can't open up to this person. So like finding a therapist, like affording therapy is one thing, but then finding a therapist that won't judge you for being gay or queer is one thing, and then feeling comfortable is a whole other thing. So it's not like a one and done situation. Like it takes some time.
Yeah, it's like 3 levels of work.
Yeah.
I
She
kind of
got
forgot Micah was a therapist.
Man, I don't remember anything about Micah because Micah's not fun. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't remember details about Micah.
Yeah. Back at college, Angie runs into her roommate while she's out with the professor. I was thinking, like, this storyline, I feel like maybe the show is hinting that this will blow up in their faces.
How
The
could it
way
not?
he's like, wait, is there something slightly inappropriate about this?
Like, I don't know if this is like a 2020s kind of thing, but whatever happened to like sneaking and shame? Because, like, I mean, not that shame is a good thing. I want to be very clear. Shame is not good, but shame makes you careful too. You're literally out on campus with your student and you're a professor, like, even if it isn't a group, there's not like a rule against it, which I highly doubt, it would be very much frowned upon.
Mhm.
Like, why are you here, dude? Like, that's just dumb. And the fact that you let like a 18-year-old talk you into doing this does not bode well for me thinking like I don't think very highly of you right now. So like again, I can't wait for it to blow up. I hope it blows up fantastic. I hope Bet comes down and screams in his face. I am here for all of it.
Yes, I know. They gave us in what was it, 1 and 2, they gave us like cool, calm, collected, evolved Bet. I would like to
I
see
don't
angry Bet back for this storyline.
like I don't want who wants calm Bet? Nobody wants calm Bet. We want screaming Bet. We want, snobby, pretentious Bet. That's who Bet is. Bet is not a calm person. So like that's why I said season 3. I'm like, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
I don't know if they even know what they're doing.
No. They can't season 3 properly. That's the issue. Like they did this with the original. They're doing it now. They are not good with season 3s.
Yeah. Tess calls Shane to yell at her. Well, she doesn't really yell at her, but she's just like firm. She's like, "No, I'm not doing it," because a different
Mhm.
nurse showed up. And then, of course, they are really showing that this is bothering Shane.
Sad girl Shane.
Shane's got an ailment, and the only prescription is IV.
I get it, but no. Like, I feel like this is another thing of like, man, if you're upset, open your damn mouth. You're like in your 40s now, right? Like, okay, let her know, like, hey, I understand about your mom, but like I was really looking forward to this. don't use this as an excuse to bottle up your emotions and be like, "Ah, she's doing this to me again." I gotta go fuck Ivy to make myself feel better. It's Halloween, man. It's a holiday. She's abandoning me on a holiday. Yeah, I gotta do this. She literally had 0 time to think about it either. She's like, "Well, fuck it." She
Yep.
forced my hand. She
Yep.
forced my hand.
Couldn't do anything. I mean, the gays love their Halloween, so she's not gonna
Yeah,
not have sex on Halloween.
exactly. But no, Tess could definitely be like, again, it seems like she's so wrapped up in the mom of it all, and I can understand that, but, like, you do have a partner, and they both live in the same space, so you have to make time for each person, especially because it is, like, queer Christmas. You can't just, like, abandon her on Halloween.
Yeah. So, yeah, Shane takes a shot. She walks out to the foggy version of our Shivey hookup sequel. I honestly think these two have so much chemistry. I mean,
Oh my god,
betrayal
yes.
to Tess aside, that moment where like Ivy is joking and moving the car seat, Shane just seems so into her.
But this goes back to, like, how we don't want happy, we don't want calm Bet. We don't want monogamous Shane. That's not who like, why is it so bad to, like, admit that Shane is non-monogamous and just move on for it? Because I feel like that's all of her issues is when she tries to get into a monogamous relationship. You are not a monogamous person, that's fine. But no, I feel like her chemistry with Ivy is, like, off. Isn't that, like, a person you'd kind of think Shane would end up with anyway?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Right? Like, and again, like, every time they're on the screen, their chemistry is fire. I'm watching like, "This is wrong. Cheating is bad. This is so bad." And then she leans over the seat and's like, "I get it. I
Yeah.
get." Even looking at a child's car seat, Shane was like, "Still do not care.
Yep.
Let's get this popping." So,
Yeah, like Shane, who's supposed to be kid averse, I guess,
yeah.
is just more turned on with Ivy talking about her kid and stuff
Every
like
time,
that.
like, that's the thing, they keep trying to play like Shane doesn't want a kid. Shane wants a fucking kid. She's just like, I feel like every time a kid gets involved, she's like, "No, no." Even like in season 1 with, Kiara, she's like, "No, don't." Then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in.
Right.
I'm totally in." So, like, I feel like Shayna has always been like a caring character for people she's not trying to fuck. She's like, and who's not Max. She can be very caring to her friends and to like the children that are in there, but like the moment someone tries to put that girlfriend, that monogamous title in there, she becomes the worst. And I just don't know why she just can't admit that to herself.
Why are the writers not having her explore a polyamorous plotline?
Thank you. I don't know. Like, let's be honest. I've known a few Shanes in my life. They always have like 3 girlfriends. Why are they trying to pretend that Shane is like, and you're really telling me it's been a year and this is the first time Shane has stepped out? That's the most unbelievable thing in this whole universe right now. Like, come on.
Yeah, she was flirting with the server at the gallery.
Ex- that I would hate to just describe someone their whole essence is purely as like who they're fucking, but is that not who Shane is? Yeah, she cuts hair, she owns a bar. Yeah, no one gives a fuck about any of that. They've made Shane basically a sex object from the beginning. They've made that her personality is
Mhm.
she likes to fuck. She fucks a lot of women. That's who she's always been. So why are you like pretending in the, oh, she's growing, she's settling down? No, those two things aren't mutually exclusive. You can grow as a person, as a business person, and still, live your best whole life. So all I want for Shane is her to live her best whole life and just go bang the Ivies of the world. That is
Yes.
perfectly fine. And if you want like a girl who is home with you, find someone who is okay with that lifestyle. Because it's Shane. There are plenty of girls who'll be perfectly fine with
Hell
like
yes.
as long as you're coming home and you're doing Dolly Parton's hair to my mom and you just want to go fuck this girl who honestly, if you brought her home, we could probably all be happy.
Mhm.
Like,
Yep.
come on, man. Like, do better. Do better.
I've never wanted to say amen so hard.
Yeah.
Amen to
Yeah.
that. Well, speaking of Dolly Parton, aka Tess's mom, we get this kind of brutal scene
Yeah.
where Tess and her are arguing, and
Mhm.
I actually don't know who is playing her mom, but I thought this actor did a really good job of
Mhm.
how somebody with dementia, they're great, and all of a sudden it's
Yeah.
like, no, we're not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's, as, like, daughters, we have a certain connection, especially to our moms, that we wanna take care of them. It's kinda like, especially when they're hurt, they're sad, especially as they're aging, we kinda feel like it's our role to step up. I feel that's kinda how Tess is. She's like, "Hey, this is my mom. She's accepted me for all this stuff. I have to be there for her." But it's kind of like, is this what's best for her mom? Or is this because Tess feels like this is what's best for her mom? And honestly, it's hard taking care of someone who has dementia. She probably would be better in a nursing home. But like there's a whole guilt associated with that. So I can understand why she feels the way. But yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Yeah, you mentioned the nursing home. I That caught me by surprise that at the end of that scene, her mom is like, "Put I wanna go in a nursing home. Put me in a
Yeah.
nursing home."
Yeah, because she probably doesn't wanna, and, it's a whole thing about, like, feeling like a burden. So there's probably, like, a whole other psychology to it that her mom's going through, but also it's like, she she probably just doesn't want to be there right now, like, her whole life is that room and her daughter in shame, you
Mm,
know? Um, so I don't really blame her for kinda being like, "Alright, we tried this. Can you take me to the place now? Like, this is cool, but I'm good." Like,
mhm.
I don't want to do this. And also, like, Tess is not trained to do the things that she wants to do for her mom. Like, I think too often we think that like, oh, someone's ailing, I can take care of them. Like, can you really? Because
Yeah.
people train years for this, and you might be making it worse.
No, I mean, Tess looks like she weighs, like, maybe 125 pounds,
A
like
gust of wind could take her away at
Yeah.
any given time, and she's tall too, so just
Mhm.
just send her flailing like a tube person. So, yeah, no, she does not need to be trying to lift anyone out of anything.
Well, back at the bar, Sophie sneaks up on Finley, and she is trying to, be flirty, be fun.
Mhm.
We kind of learn later in this scene that, like, they have not been having sex.
Yeah.
Um, and then Finn, like, really just comes for Sophie and is like, "You have a pattern of cheating." It reminded me of that phrase, like, people always say, "Once a cheater, always a
Yeah.
cheater."
Kinda yeah. People can change, but I cannot words don't express how much it hurts me to say this phrase, but Finley's kinda right here.
Okay.
Like, Sophie does have a pattern of, like, her previous relationship. She got with Finley from cheating on her with Danny. She got with Danny for cheating on the previous relationship. I know that's not everything, but they mentioned that she did hook up with someone where Finley was away, whether they were on a break or not, meh.
Mhm.
So, like, I understand that whole logic of like, hey, you have tendencies that you're talking about Shane, but like, I mean, you're kind of you're not your hands aren't completely clean in the situation. But I feel like again, that's a conversation they probably should have been had at this point. So, but I mean, she's been in rehab, so I guess there wasn't really a time. They yeah,
That's
so
probably why they don't recommend being in a serious relationship that
yeah,
close to rehab.
exactly. And probably not with the girl who stopped your wedding. These they did not have a solid starting foundation.
Yeah, I was gonna
So
ask, do you think it's possible to ever fully trust somebody that you got with while they were in another relationship?
I have friends who have.
Okay.
Me personally, no.
Mhm,
I am a
same.
serial monogamist, which again is why I'm so sad that my host season went south so quickly. I was really waiting for that. Um, but so for me, there are a few things that like piss me off more than cheating because at the end of the day, you can just say, "Yeah, no, I'm done here." I know it's not that easy, but like at the end of the day, like you don't have to cheat on someone. It's a choice to do. And at the very least, you don't have to hide cheating from someone. It's something you choose to do. And Sophie has chose to do that quite a lot. So I don't know if I would be able to trust someone like that, because I feel like once that core foundation of like, am I afraid to leave you alone with our friends is broken? Because I remember, like, she didn't just cheat on some random. She just was some random girl. Like this, Finley, Sophie, Danny, like they lived together. They were like best friends, and then this affair happened. Like, I don't know about that. Again, which is why Danny is friends with these people blows my fucking mind. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah, me too. And also, just the person that they showed us from the first couple of seasons. No, like
Yeah,
Danny was so afraid that Sophie was going to cheat. Like they showed us them having those kind of conversations. So,
exactly. Yeah, she had so many concerns with their relationship, and I do not understand.
well, the show seems to be trying to tell us that it is possible for people to turn a new leaf because we sort of immediately see Sophie turn down the hot girl at the bar who asks her
That
out.
was so fake. That was so trash. It's like, no, I have a girlfriend. Yeah, because you had a conversation 2 minutes ago. Let this same girl hit on her after she's like 4 or 5 more shots in. Like when she's been brewing in the corner, upset, rethinking everything. Would she still make the same choice? I
I
mean,
think
I
they're
get what they
really
were trying to do.
yeah. What are they trying to do?
They're really trying to make them the couple. I feel like they really want us to be like I feel like most of the season has been like, so the first couple episodes has been like Finley's redemption arc. Like, oh, look at how, like, look what she's doing. And now it's
Mm.
like her and Sophie, like, oh, look at them at brunch with Danny. Isn't this great? Like, they're such a cute couple together. I'm not here for it. I won't be here for it. So I feel like because even the original, like, we had Bet and Tina as like that was that core couple. We had a couple other ones that would float in for a couple seasons at a time, but we always had a core couple to come back to. So I don't think they'll ever put Danny and Sophie back together. So who else is that core couple that we're going to look at besides Finley and Sophie?
Micah and Maribel?
I mean, yeah, but they got together last season.
Yeah,
So, like
yeah.
they sprinkled the beginnings of this in season 1. So that's the only reason why I feel like that's what they're trying to do. But like, and plus Micah and Maribel are too boring. They're about
Mhm.
to have a fucking kid. They're settling down. They don't want that. They want the people who are out at Dana's, showing
Yeah.
up in raincoats.
Have you seen the promo shots for this season? A lot of fans have been talking about online where Danny and Finley are like making
If
out.
they do, I will unsubscribe to Showtime so damn quick. That almost seems incestuous, right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
wanna that's
Yeah. It's
that's
too far,
not yeah, that's
even for this
not
show.
man, like, yeah, no, I really hope they don't go there. Even, like, they had the one promo of, like, um, was it, like, Alice and Shane looking like they were about to kiss? Like,
Yeah.
oh, why
That's
would
incestuous.
I don't like it. Make it stop. That's all I
No.
could think of when I see the pictures, like, please just be doing a joke, because that's a weird combo that I don't ever want to see. No,
Yeah,
no,
let's
thank
hope
you.
so. Out in Fog Alley, Finley totally busts Shane and Ivy. Seems like they could have parked in a different alley, maybe.
Alright, I have several things. One, don't you love how Ivy, like, cleans the mirror off behind her so that Finley can, like, apparently her eyes have zoom and focus,
Yeah.
can zoom in and see distinctly Shane's face and that fucking hair in Ivy. Also, why is the car still on? This was bothering me. The car was still on.
Wait, you would
Turn
turn the car off?
Yeah!
Well, it's LA, yeah, so
To
it's
me,
not.
it's like, okay, I'm thinking like, all right, put yourself in the mind of a cheater. I'm Shane right now. Okay, I am outside my bar. People know who I am, and I am cheating on my well beloved significant other. Turn the lights off so you have at
Yes.
least like so people can't see you at least a little bit. But no, we're gonna keep the car rolling. We're gonna make sure we clean the smog off so people can get a good look at me. And
They're like turning the lights on at the ceiling, like,
oh
make
my
sure
gosh.
everybody can
Just
see this.
make sure you can see. And it's like it looks like Finley just like walked directly out and then she could see them. So like anyone can like it's a bar. Anyone could stumble out that bitch and just see Shane and Ivy fucking in the back room. Like you could have been like you could have done a little bit better. Again, this is why I say, Shane, you've been doing this for like 2 decades now. You want to get caught. You want to get caught.
I think that's a good point because they also do it on set on Alice's show last episode. Like anybody could catch, like Tess basically almost busts them there.
You want to get caught. That's my only thing I can think of. They wanted to get caught. She had to. She's not that dumb. Like Shane is better at cheating than this. I have to believe that Shane is a better cheater than this. This is some rookie amateur hour shit she's trying to throw at us, and I just do not believe it.
Well, we're not the only ones who are like eye roll. Finley does not hold back when it comes
I
to
love
Shane
it.
in the office. She just lets her have it.
Yeah, I loved every moment. Again, I've never liked Finley more than this episode, than this little chunk, just this period. But like on one end, like Shane did not ask to be your role model.
Mhm.
I feel like you can't if you put expectations on people that they did not ask for, it's not their fault when they fall short of them. But I also definitely know what it's like to like truly believe in someone and they just let you down so fundamentally. Like just they just crush your soul. But on
Yeah,
the
she
up
says, I looked up to you and you're a real fucking disappointment.
I mean that's kind of rich coming from Finley also.
With the wedding stuff from last
Yeah,
season.
like Kristen in the hall, Finley is gonna tell me how I'm a disappointment.
DUIs, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like, I think it definitely came from a point of like, hey man, we had our, hit and shit bonding moment. And like I've looked up to you for so long, and like you and Tess have this great relationship that I want to mirror. And I mean, she got let down, but this is why people are people. You cannot put them on pedestals. They will even if without trying, they will disappoint you because everyone has flaws. And Shane is maybe the most flawed individual on this fucking show, besides Finley, maybe. So it's like that is not your role model to be looking up to. She set herself up for failure.
Oh, completely, completely. Good point. Back at Danny's place, she is trying to hook up with Roxy, but something like just isn't working. And that
Yeah,
something is Gigi.
of course it is, because she's a fucking goddess.
I
And
mean,
you don't just get over Gigi.
I was just going to ask you, how long does it take to get over a woman like Gigi?
Okay, so they were together for what, like a year, couple months before then. So
Yeah,
let's
over
just
a
say
year.
at least 5 years. That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
5 years.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like if you're similar to me, like I was so taken aback and pissed off about the handling of Gigi. I don't
Of course I'm with you on
you
that.
will
Of course.
never no one will ever tell me that like her and Nat were actually the secret love that we're gonna get back together. I don't buy that for a fucking second. It seemed like everyone fucking hated Gigi but Danny. Like everyone was kind of mean to Gigi. So like
Yeah.
I don't buy this for a second that they like, oh, when I got in the crash, I closed my eyes and I saw, the fuck you didn't. You did not. You probably saw her with your kids, but you didn't see her in like some angelic glow saying like this is no. You got hit. You just experienced the trauma. You can't trust that shit. And now you're drugged. Calm down.
Yeah.
I
And
digress.
Nat was supposed to have like chosen Alice, you know?
Y'all tried this before. It wasn't that the whole reason why Alice got upset is because like they had this moment of like um reconciliation about like the past, and they had this like really they're like, hey, no, we're good now. So you're trying to tell me that actually she's been harboring these feelings for Gigi for this full year, and now she's like, actually, I want you back, and also really fucking sus that she kisses her in the ambulance when she's like got a damn neck brace on.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
Little, a little,
Did
because like, Gigi's, like, just been a little
Yeah, so
traumatized.
Gigi's just sitting there like this, she's like, what is she supposed to do? And like she goes and she doubles back. Like the
Mhm.
first one, I was like, oh yeah, I can get it. Then she's like, oh, look into your eyes, kiss you again. And meanwhile, Gigi's like, what is she supposed to do? It was
Oh.
awkward. But yeah, no, I kind of like this because I don't like the portrayal of Danny as like this robot who doesn't have feelings and emotion. And sometimes like little things have like my girlfriend calls them strongholds. How little stuff that's left around you can get like emotionally attached to it and you don't even realize it. And like just that earring was like, ah, fuck, I left like Gigi's gone. And she just has her breakdown moment and she's crying. But that's very realistic. I feel like that's how like my failed hookup has gone. It's like, yeah, let's do this. And I remember something like, actually, I do not think I can continue this. Please put your shirt back on, woman. I need to go home now. Much apologies. So
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that was realistic. And I like that. I do like that Roxy was kind of like, oh, okay, no problem. Like, come here, let me hug you, let me comfort you. That was really sweet.
Yeah, do you think we're gonna get to see Roxy again?
I don't want her with Danny. I mean, I get that people can like aren't supposed to, some people or some relationships are only there for a season, but I will die on the hill that Gigi and Danny are supposed to be together. That was supposed to be our core couple. But I do kind of like it seems like they've been friends for a while, and how it kind of got played is maybe Roxy has always had a thing for Danny, and like just now it's kind of coming to like it's been slowly building to like now this would have been their first hookup, and now it's kind of like heal that heart, and I'm gonna be here. I'm not mad at it. I don't dislike Roxy. She seems great. She's not Gigi.
Right, right. Nobody Danny as a character is kinda screwed because
Yep.
nobody's gonna compare to Gigi.
Yeah. It's weird because like I didn't really care for Danny for the first half of the first season. I started to come around toward the end, and then the cheating scandal happens at her wedding. Season 2, I really started to like Danny. And then now it's kind of like I kind of hate that everything's been tied to her relationships as well because now they're trying to find it's kind of like how after Alice and Dana stopped, you're kind of like, okay, so who's Alice gonna get with? And I love Tasha too. Like I was team Tasha for a while. I love me some
Yes,
fucking Tasha.
yes.
But like there was a while where we were like, is this gonna work out with Tasha? And she was fucking what, Phyllis at the time? There was like a lot of weird stuff that went on before she settled. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of weird stuff until they find somewhere else for Danny because she's had like two big loves in 2
Mm,
seasons. So that's a lot.
yeah,
She
yeah.
needs a whole season.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna see in the next few
Yeah.
episodes, which will be
I
fun.
My perfect world, she has her whole season for like 2 to 3 episodes, and Gigi just like comes bursting through the door, but like, "Baby, I was wrong." Like that's in the perfect world. That's what I'm.
That would be
That's
amazing.
my finale. She opens that door and it's like Gigi on her knees. Like
Oh,
that's where I'm trying to get to.
God, if only.
Yes.
Back at the bar, Shane runs into Max, and it was a pretty funny reunion with Max, like, basically calling her out without realizing it.
Oh my god, it's like, "Hey, so are you still Shane?" Like, and
"You
this
still
is
being
what
Shane?"
and this is what gets me is like clearly Shane has issues with being Shane. She's like, literally just wiped her hands off on her pants from seeing Ivy. She comes in there like, "No, I got a girl. She's great.
"I got a
She's
girl."
yeah, she's great." And I feel like Max kind of knows, like, you're bullshitting me.
Yes.
Like, I live with you. No, you're not. But like you said, I'm glad that there was even though I don't think it was. I feel like Alex really should have been the one to give that apology. I feel like
Mhm.
it's kind of a cop out to give it to Shane because I feel like Shane's always the one who if feelings were hurt, she would be the one to be like, "My bad." I
Mhm.
would have liked it a lot more if it would have came from Alice, but I'm glad that there was at least an attempt to be like, "Hey, it was wrong. We did treat you really bad back then." And I think that's a part of growing up too. We realize that certain things, like, I don't think it was appropriate. It was as a teenager, I was like, "Ugh, they don't they're mean to Max, right? Like, this isn't good." Like, I realized that.
Mhm.
Trying to rewatch it, I was like, "God, they were fucking terrible."
It's
They were
almost
fucking
unwatchable when they're so
it
horrible to Max.
like, see, like, I keep saying season 3 was bad, but, like, man, it was really rough trying to watch season 3 and 4. Like, actually, just all of the rest of it. The whole shit's a bad. It's not a great rewatch. But especially anything that has to do with like trans characters or like even though they don't say non-binary, but like the non-binary type characters,
Mhm.
they don't do great with it. They really don't do great with it. So
Yep.
it's kind of not great. But again, I'm glad to see Max come back in like a joyful way. I'm glad that they had that little moment of she's like, it's like, "How are you doing?" And Max is like, "Got 4 kids." Like, "Oh shit, what?" Like, you're like an adult. If you notice, like Max is the only one who completely is like, "You know what? Fuck this group.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go live my life." And they're still kind of in this web where have any of them really changed that much?
No, I mean, I
Mm.
think the show is trying to show us that, like, Alice is still just, like, doing her dating around thing,
Yep.
Shane's still cheating, Bet and Tina are still betting Tina in.
Like, so let me ask you, are you a Bet and Tina person?
I'm not a Tibbiter,
Okay,
but
I'm
okay, go ahead.
go ahead. No, no, you go ahead.
Uh, I I'm, like, happy to see them after everything that's happened, the 3 seasons. I will be happy to see them, come together.
Okay. Well, I'm not, and this is why. I they've always had like I'm not here for like glorifying toxic relationships, which I know is bad is not the point of this show. Yes. I'm sorry, my girlfriend just walked in. I'm just like, "Yes." Yeah, that is not I don't ca I never particularly cared for them as a couple. Yes, when I was younger, I did, but, like, now, especially because Tina had Carrie, and I really loved Carrie.
Yeah, I did
I
too,
I even liked, was it Pippa with
with Bet.
yeah, I thought they both had what they wanted, and I thought those 2 relationships were really good, but, like, "Oh, no, we have history. Let's throw them
Yeah.
back." I don't believe that they were, like, this epic, great love that they couldn't just I feel like if there was never a show, they never would have gotten back together. They would have been blissfully alone doing their same shit. But
Well, doesn't the show in season 6 kind of imply that they're back together?
yeah, like weren't they like selling their house and moving
Yeah,
to New York or something like
I
that?
think so.
Yeah, but
I think
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think because Laurel Holloman is, like, just an artist now for the most part and
Mhm,
just I supposedly came back as a favor to Jennifer Beals.
mhm.
I think, like, the show is in a little bit of a tough spot, and I also
Yeah,
think the show wants to cater to, they are the most popular couple on the show. They have a
yeah,
huge fan
yeah.
base.
Yeah, even though it's not for me, like it's the thing, like it was like a fucking holiday for people when they got them back together. People were so stoked, and even, like, is it season 5 when they're, like, in that, like, weird looking club and they finally kiss
Mhm.
after all this time of Bet being with Jody, I popped for it. I didn't even
Yeah.
like them together, but I was like
That was a
even though
great
it's
scene.
even though, again, cheating, I was like, "Oh, shit, they're back." It was like,
Yeah.
mom and mom are back together, so everyone was
Mhm.
happy about it, but no, I'm not here for them.
Yeah, I know they're gonna have Pippa come back at some point, and so I'm really curious
Yeah,
about how that's gonna go.
I loved Pippa.
Me too.
I didn't want her with I feel like she could have done better than Bet. I feel like she could have, like I understand why they put her with Bet. I was fine with them as a couple because it makes sense, but I also thought that, like, she was a little too cool for Bet.
Yeah.
Like, Bet was
That
a
was like
little
a
like
fan.
yeah, she was fangirling out for that whole
Yep,
like, even when she was with Gigi at that point, she was talking about she was a little, like, waxing on poetically about Pippa in this
yeah,
weird way. Um, yeah, she was too cool. She was like it was that was like I don't know, she was, like, really nerding out over Pippa, and Pippa just seemed like a much more free spirit.
yeah, that's a good point. Back at Sophie, Finn, Micah, and Maribel's place, we have a sister-sister moment where
Mhm.
Sophie asks Maribel if she's like their father. Tori, are all lesbians like their dad? Because I'm a carbon copy
Oh,
of my dad.
look, I don't even like my dad, and unfortunately, I think that might be true.
Oh no, it's
I
true.
know, it sucks. I actively work hard not to do it. I
Same.
feel like in some regards, yes, but I feel like just because it's a negative trait, it doesn't necessarily have to be. That's why she's like her dad. You can be a terrible fucking person all on your own without your dad's influence, you know? Like, I feel like maybe some of those early on memories, now she's associated with it, like a parental figure did this. So, I mean, how bad can it be kind of thing? Like, I've seen someone else do it. But at the same time, it's like at a certain point, you can't blame mom and dad for the choices that you make. And you decided to fuck Finley? You made that choice? So, I like their little heart to heart moment, but like again, daddy issues rear their ugly head again. That's basically what their whole storyline of time is daddy issues. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, that she has a pattern of cheating. It's there. Like acknowledge it and just stop.
Should we discuss Shane? Like, why haven't they made Shane and non-monogamous? What about Sophie? Should Sophie consider like polyamory?
I don't know if I don't know if Sophie is truly non-monogamous or she's just like she said, not make a mistake, but she does stupid shit. I feel like she definitely could benefit from therapy. Let me just throw that out there. I feel like she's a once she's ignored or once she feel like a certain relationship isn't feeding her, she starts seeking the next relationship to fill that void. So like once when Danny was too busy working and all of that stuff, she like started hanging out with Finley more just as a hey, this is someone who's showing me attention and all that. And then it went sexual. So I feel like she's just like she's I don't want to say like leeching, but she's like slithering from relationship to relationship. So it seems like she's might be a serial monogamous who just refuses to settle in one relationship, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Yeah. Ooh, the way you said slither. Oof.
Yeah, like it's kind of like she's just in like she's like, I'm done here, but let's go right back into something for multiple years. With a little bit of lap over in
Right.
between.
Well, I'm excited to see. It looks like from the trailer we're gonna get to see Dre. So maybe that'll bring
Mhm.
some drama, and who
I'm
knows.
here for it.
Well, of course, the big fireworks ending to the episode involves two things. The first thing made me sad, which was Shane essentially ending things with Ivy.
After she gave her those beautiful pair of scissors.
I know.
Which come on, you're gonna give her a pair of scissors right before you have car sex. That's
That was
just
hilarious.
the gayest thing they possibly could have done.
Embroidered scissors. Are you
Embroidered
kidding me?
embroidered scissors and then be like, "You owe me a fucking haircut. Now take your pants off." Like, wait, what is okay, sure.
Oh, couldn't have been gayer if she gave her a sword.
Literally, literally. And Shane's just like, "Oh, look at these." Like, yeah.
The second thing that happens is, of course, Tess is standing behind Shane. We don't know how long, but long enough to get the gist of what's going on.
Shane's better at cheating than this. This is what I mean. Like, even if even if Tess never showed up, you're going to break up with the person you just fucked in front of your own bar?
Right?
How many friends and even though we keep saying there's only this like core group, like, Shane has other people like who know Tess. Even it's Tess's bar too. Tess knows people there. Go somewhere else. Like, it's bad cheating. If you're gonna cheat, at least be a good one. Don't be like this. This is just dumb cheating.
Well, they gotta have Shane be terrible at cheating so that we can have Tess throw the cocktail in her face or the drink, sorry, or maybe it was water because I don't think Tess is sober, right? Or
Well,
maybe
she
she
looks
just
like she
picks
just
up a
picked,
random.
yeah, she just picked
Okay.
something up and did it. I mean, bravo to her, because like I would have been much worse.
Ooh, what would you have
we
done?
oh, we would have had I'm a pretty chill and mellow person, but I also know how to cause a scene. We would have had a scene. We would have, especially like think about it, like she's just coming back from that stress and trauma from dealing with her mom. She's coming to find her partner. She seek comfort, and she literally like, okay, this is gonna sound the best, but like it's bad enough to be cheated on. But then you see who she cheated on you with.
Your own, because like, wasn't Tess involved in? Oh no, Alice hooked Ivy
Yeah,
up
yeah,
with.
yeah.
Okay,
Alice X. So like you're looking at her, you're like, really, man? Yeah, no,
I would have been raging. I would have been like, "Are you kidding me?" I would have like taken my arm and just ran along the bar and just like destroyed all
oh
the
yeah,
alcohol.
yeah. I'm creeping. When they're talking, I'm like, do. Hey, who's this? What are we stopping? What are we stopping? I want to know.
Don't you think in today's day somebody just would have been filming it and then they would have just
Absolutely.
destroyed her, like put it
Because like
online?
Shane's like a pseudo celebrity in this gay world, right? Like
Yep.
someone saw them in the alley besides Finley, and someone sees what's going on here. So it's just like, come on, just not good.
The question is, will Tess forgive Shane?
Probably
They have
because
so
don't
much together.
yeah. Look, once there's like, it's one thing to break up with someone. Totally speaking from experience here, it's one thing to break up with someone when you don't have any financial ties. It is a whole other thing to attempt to break up or think you're going to break up with someone when you have so much outside tied to it, because it's not that simple. Like, especially it's like a if it's this isn't a I've fallen out of love with this person, like, oh, this person betrayed me and I'm pretty sure this person still loves me, we still love each other. There's this betrayal on top of we own a lot of stuff together, like we are business owners together. So I feel like she'll ice her out for a little bit, but then she'll forgive her.
I agree. I think they're gonna have them
Yeah.
stay together.
Yeah. Wait, did we talk about the Alice in Taylor
Oh,
movie?
yes. Okay, let's get to that. What First of all, I found it really unbelievable that that noise that was supposed to be scaring the crap out of them came from like a little pumpkin thingy.
Thank you. And and can I just say, like, okay, as like a black person watching this show, there are a lot of times where I'm watching like, hmm, that's some white people shit. Taylor, is that her name? Taylor going
Yeah.
outside to investigate the noise on Halloween night in the dark was the peak. That's white people shit I've ever seen in this season. I'm like, she's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. No,
No.
go to bed. Just ignore it. It's nothing.
Do anything but go outside. I'm literally watching this other British show, procedural, where same thing, 3 white girls in a glass house in the middle of nowhere. Here's a gunshot, and the girl who's like 22 goes out to investigate. Like, I'm like, "What are you doing?"
That has nothing. That is not your concern. That does not concern you. See, this is what happens. Stop being nosy and you probably live longer. Like, leave it alone. So when I saw her, like, I'm gonna go check it out. And even Alice is like, wait, what? No, let's not do that. So
Yeah.
that was kind of, and then it's like, oh, it's just a pumpkin. Ha ha ha. No, you could have died. Who goes outside on Halloween anyway? Like, that's not a safe time in LA.
Yeah.
No.
No. What do you think about the 2 of them together? Do you think they have chemistry?
No. No, I don't. I feel like they got her as a guest and like we gotta put her with somebody. And Alice, I want Tom back.
Well, Donald Faison's coming back for at
Yes.
least an episode,
Yeah.
so
So, like, that whole thing made me mad. I have not rooted for a man on the L Word so hard in my life. I love Tom. I love Tom and Alice, but I feel like, it's Alice, so they couldn't kinda leave her with the dude for too long. But I after the whole debacle with, what is Gigi's ex? I'm already like,
oh,
that's
Nat.
how yeah, Nat, that's how non-memorable that has been. Like,
I know.
after the whole Nat thing went apart, I feel like they were just trying to find someone else to throw her with. They got this great guest star, like, okay, let's put her with Alice because 'cause they'll be cute and funny and blonde together. And,
Yep. They're kinda
I
similar almost.
yeah, I don't see it being more than what it is, like a multi-week infatuation that eventually fizzles out.
Yeah, my wife loves them together, but I think it's just because she
Really?
likes Joey Lauren Adams, but
Yeah,
I
that's what
agree
it
with
is.
you. No chemistry. She
None.
should have picked the middle person on the when they were doing the dating
Yes!
game.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, they don't I'm just not feeling it, like, at all.
Yeah, I think you're right. I wonder because people, like, joke about online that Kehlani just watched a bunch of L Word and was like, "I'll come on the show if you hook me up with Shane." I don't know if that happened,
I
but
bet that I mean, and she probably did,
you
and
think?
what are they gonna say? No.
Nope, they're gonna say yes because it's Kehlani.
Honestly, those 2 in these few episodes have had some of the maybe besides Danny and Gigi, they've probably had the best chemistry of
Agreed.
any pairing. So, if I had it my way, I would try to get her. I'm pulling a Tess, just blowing her, like, do a, like how they did it in the OG thing, burn down the bar, Tess just get angry, burn that shit down like they did Wax in the OG, and then just fade away, go live with your mom somewhere, and bring
Oh,
back
no.
Kehlani. Or at
Poor
least
Tess.
put Tess with someone else. I feel like they had when they started this season, they had all of these they had all these new characters, and now they're getting so many good guest stars. They're kind of shooting themselves in the foot because they don't know, when it first started, like these are all blank canvases. They could put people together a little bit more freely. Now they're trying to make sure, like, oh, we got Rosie O'Donnell. Who are we gonna put her with? Let's put her with Tina. But even though we know that Bet and Tina are gonna end up together, so let's just
Mhm.
ruin that. And I feel like they're kind of just working with whatever they have to try to make sure everyone gets in there without any like you said, no long-term
Yeah,
planning on like
anything for, like, one dramatic scene,
ex-
basically.
that is completely it. And hey, got a drink to the face. That's literally what all this is building up to, was that drink in the face.
Yep, and they
Which
put it in the trailer, and
yep,
everybody's been talking about it, yep.
exactly. Exactly. So
We've had 2 episodes now without Bet and Tina.
mhm.
Is this season gonna make it without them and Gigi, like, through the middle of the season?
Okay, so
That's
it depends on like who is this for? Like, who is the L word Gen Q for? Is it really for whatever they think Gen Q is? Or is it for the OG people wanting to get back into this world? So for me, as like an OG person, I'm not really invested in any of these characters. The only character I was invested in was Gigi.
I know.
The only reason I was invested in Danny was Gigi, so
Yep.
I'll like watch it, but sometimes I like skim through and I'm like, oh, okay, here they go again. Oh, Finley, how awesome! Like, so it's like none of them really like are like biting me. Like I have to tune in. Like I remember like when this show first came out, I was literally like I'd watch an episode, and I would just be biting, waiting for that name. I would watch the trailer multiple times that week, or sometimes
Mhm.
I'd wait to watch an episode so it'd be less days until the next episode would come out.
Wow.
This one is kind of like, oh shit, did that come on? Yeah, let's see what this episode's about. Or I work night shifts, so like I'll be like in the middle of the night, like 2 o'clock. Like, oh yeah, there's a new episode of that on. Fuck, I got an hour to burn. Let's watch that. So
That's
I
so accurate, like, the OG show had this, like, spark
mhm.
that Gen Q, probably because of the reasons you said, like, the Gen Q characters aren't as It's also the writing too.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
But
But
yeah, it's
oh, what I was saying is, like, also, like, you had with season 1, it's like, whenever they introduced a new character, it was a new character, you had time to, adjust and acclimate to that person. They might introduce 2 characters over 1 season, you know?
Mhm.
Now it's just there's just so much newness. Now they have all these guest stars and they're trying to put them in roles. It's just so much. It's like, okay, who am I supposed to be focusing on? Like you said,
Yep.
who's the core couple?
They
Literally,
don't have one.
they don't have a core couple. So it's like you don't know who you're supposed to be watching. Who's the core, like, person? Like, before it was like firmly Bet. Like, Bet was the person who you were watching, and everything was their connection to Bet and Tina. That was where, well, now Bet's gone. Is the core friend group is now the Danny, Sophie, Finley, Micah thing. But, like, who there are we really invested in, like, who we would really, like, we're going to ride or die for this individual no matter what they do, like how people did for Shane, Bet, or Alice. Not really any of them. And
No,
the
and it's
old
not believable because of the cheating and, they've
No,
all been with each other and yeah.
no. And then the age gap of, like, why is Alice hanging out with these young ass kids? You're like a like you said, you're a you own your own, you have a talk show. Why are you hanging out with them? That's not realistic. Shane, why are you hanging out with Finley? She's your employee. Like, you don't really want to
Right.
hang out with her. So, like, I don't think even the original group of people that they put together, I don't really think they would be friends in a real world. So the fact that all of them, or at least some of them, maintained that friendship for as long as they did, this new group of people have come in and they've created this bigger little bubble. I find I mean, it's TV, so of course it's unrealistic, but, like, I just don't, I'm not buying it.
Same. I don't know that like any, outside of some minority opinions, I don't know that anybody buys this like, oh, we're all this big bubble. But you're right, they kind of have to do that because like we have no core couple.
Nope.
you know?
There's no, you have to have, like, I used to watch Grey's Anatomy. You had to have your Meredith and Derek.
Yeah.
Now Derek's fucking dead, and that show's just been floating around for a while.
Can't
Like, if
believe it's
you
still on the air.
yeah, oh my god, it's never dying. So if you don't have a core couple or a core person you're supposed to be rooting for, that no matter where they go, they get back together, who are you gonna root for? So, like, if we think about how they set it up in season 1, if we're doing the mirror to, the first one, it would be Danny and Sophie, but I feel like they burned that so bad. I don't know anyone who would be happy with Danny and Sophie getting back together.
No, nobody wants that. Oh God, don't do that. Oof.
Exactly. So I'm like, because yeah, even though, like, Tina found out about the cheating, it was this big dramatic scene, like, I feel like, even I mean, it was her fucking wedding, man. That's much worse. I don't think you come back from that.
That's like traumatic. Your
It's
wedding
very
day.
it's very literally before you say I do, this
The ripped jeans.
why does she keep wearing these fucking jean shorts? It kills me. It fucking kills me. These fucking jean shorts. Um, and these boy tees, and it's just like, I get her style. I get what she's going for, but I find that particular brand of lesbianism the most obnoxious, annoying one possible. And she plays it way too well. Because it's like one of those things where now when I see her anywhere else, any other role, I'm just like, fucking Finley, huh?
Oh.
Yeah,
You think
it's
you
gotten to
think
that level.
so Jacqueline Tabani can like she's just gonna
Fucking
be
Finley.
typecasted now.
I don't know, but, like, in my mind, she is. It's just, like, every time I see her, it's like, "Fucking Finley, man." I can't even when they, like, have her, like, dress up in, like, in, like, red carpet, it's like, "Oh, look at Finley, he's trying to be fancy." That's literally all I can see. I know it's wrong. Like, I'm
No.
aware it's a whole other, like, this is not the character, but she plays that role a little too well, down
I
to the
was gonna
tone
say
of her
that's a good
voice.
sign if you can't separate them that she's like really doing that
Yeah,
character.
yeah, just, oh, no,
Well,
no.
Tori, any other thoughts on episode 4?
Um let me think. All I gotta say is this is like yay Max, but like I know that I'm pretty sure Max won't be around for
It doesn't seem
any
like it.
more episodes, but like Max is the role model that Finley needs. Actually, even I think they kind of played it where like Carrie kind of could be like a role.
Yeah.
That is a role model to look for. Shane is not a role model. That
Nope.
is the I feel like that is the thing we need to take away from this. Stop counting on Shane. She will let you down. Just stop. It's like it's been 3 seasons. Has Shane cheated on somebody in every season?
Well, did she cheat on anybody in season 2?
Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. What was season 2? Who was she
And
with
I
in
don't think she cheated on season 1 because she, like, wasn't with anyone in season 1, was
No,
she?
she just fucked Tess's girlfriend in
Right. So,
season
okay,
1.
that is involved in cheating, you're right. Oh, wow. Ugh, how does Tess, like, not
Again, this like man, again, like I'm a small town gay, so there's only few of us, so I don't have to deal with this tangled web. But like, how can all of you have seen each other naked and fucked each other, and y'all are just friendly as shit with each other, had long-term relationships, had true heartbreaks and all this, and you're like, let's have a drink at Dana's. I don't get it. I don't get it. I
Well,
don't.
actually, Tori, I would think if you're in a small town, you are, like, forced to just continue to date and be friends with the same people.
No, it's even better because you can just ignore them. Because like,
Okay.
there's other people here. It's like, I've purposely never dated within my town for a
Oh,
reason. Yeah, because I know what's here, and I don't want any part of that drama. No, thank you. I will
that's a
go
tactic.
yeah, go out of town. That way, once you break up with that person, it's very easy, just pretend they don't exist. I'm a like once we break up, you're basically dead to me. I know nothing of your past. You could truly be dead, and I would not know. So like that's how I like it because I don't want to see you prospering after me. I'm supposed to be the pinnacle.
Wait, Tori, I'm the same way, but, like, I feel like gays are known for, like, "Oh, no, my kid's godparents is my ex." Like, we all live together. I feel like that's the stereotype.
Not the fuck with me. It would never. It would never. It's like I purposely, like very purposely, like also I'm also very obnoxious to people who have shown interest to me in the past, but that's a whole other thing. All of my like close friends who are gay, bi, queer in some type of way, if you are my friend, I purposely put a border in my mind that like we will never do this because I don't want to have to ignore you for the rest of my life. Like I don't like one of my really really good friends who like we met on Tinder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we met on Tinder and we literally joke about this all the time. She's like, "Yeah, we never got together, huh?" It's like, "Yeah, no, I wasn't really sure if you were that interested." Like, "Tori, you met on fucking Tinder." It's like, yeah, hindsight, realize that, but we're also like, "Wow, we would have never worked." And like she's one of those gays who's like, or she's Pam, but she's one of those who like her best friends, her exes, all of them commingle and have
Yep.
friends and hang out, and I'm just like, I'm not this evolved. I'm so glad nothing happened because I would hate to lose you. Because
Yeah.
no, none of no, thank you. No, thank you. But it works for some people. Some people can do it. It's just not me.
No, it's really nice to have you on because I'm the same way as you, but the last episode I recapped with Sarah, and, she was, like, the opposite of us. She is just all up in all of her ex's business, and, her thing to her new partners is like, "No, I'm not gonna get my exes out of my life." Like, "What?"
But why? I just that's all whenever someone tells me they're friends with their exes, my first question is why? Like, "Oh, we were friends for X amount of time and da da da." I was like, "Okay, but you broke up for a reason, right?" It's like, "Yeah, well, they cheated on me or they did this." Like, so why would you want to be friends with the person who betrayed your trust?
I don't know, maybe, they would say, I think, "Oh, we shared a lot of love for each other, and just because 'cause we're not together doesn't mean that love goes away." But it
I
goes away
mean,
from me.
but like if I broke up with someone, that means I shared some hate with them too. And hate is very powerful, man. It really simmers in the soul. So whenever I think of like a sweet moment, I was like, she was also a complete asshole. Yeah,
Yes.
no, I'm not. There's no double backing here. Once it's done, it's done.
Well, this has been so much fun
Ah, this is
having you
awesome.
on the podcast. I've really enjoyed your thoughts, and I like I had a lot of fun with you today.
I did too.
Yeah, I want to thank my guest co-host, Torrie O'Neil. Listeners, make sure you go to TikTok and subscribe to @thedame. Then head over to Instagram and check out Tori's body confidence page, The Mighty Dames. They have a lot of cool merch. I really liked the tap outs then tacos shorts you have coming soon.
Yeah, yeah. Like our whole
So
thing is we're a group for the big girls. So like whenever I do merchandise, I'm like, what food can we put on
yes,
these? So tacos was highly requested. So that's the thing we're doing right now.
perfect Christmas gift, listeners.
Absolutely.
Head on over to the Mighty Dames. Everything I've mentioned will be linked in the description. We did it.
Yeah,
We
man, this
we
was
recapped the
awesome.
episode.
We recapped it. I don't know if like I will probably watch the next one in like 3 weeks because who
Okay.
knows? I like it depends on how bored I get at work. That's really what it comes down to. Like when I hit that witching hour, I was like, L word. But then again, like Sex Life, they've been doing like 2 episodes in a row. So I'm like, I could just watch that instead.
They have been dropping so many episodes. It's
I've
been great.
loved every second of it. I've been like anxiously waiting for this show to come out. So as soon as it came out, just just been binging through it. So like I like even though like she's not here, but I've been watching it before my girlfriend. And I just come back like, oh yeah, babe, 2 new episodes. Were you ready to watch? And then I'm watching it. I'm like, oh my god, can you believe they
You're
broke
having to
up?
take it.
I am so shocked.
Wait, since we're discussing, what do you think of Leighton's storyline?
I'm here for it. I like it. I like that she has who is Whitney's friend who's on the track team.
The LeBron James of lesbians. That's
Yes.
gonna drive me crazy that I can't okay.
I can't think of her name. But I like that she's kind of like the elder gay helping her navigate through the Essex gay community. I like the friendship
Yes.
that's developing there. Um, I think it's hilarious that she's dating someone who looks
Willow.
just Willow. Oh, I love Willow. I think it's
Me
hilarious
too.
that she's dating someone now that looks exactly like her.
Right. And that's the sister from First Kill. I don't know if you watched First Kill.
Oh my god! Oh my god! First Kill was so bad.
Oh, it was terrible. Yeah.
It was so fun. But you know what? She played on something else too. She played a lesbian on something
Oh,
else too.
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, some ABC family show, or
Okay.
Freeform now, what it's called. But she's gorgeous. I'll give her that. Like she's gorgeous. Both of them are, and
Yeah.
I like that Layton's a little thick, and I'm
Mhm.
here
I
for
like
it.
it too.
Right? I like
Yes.
it that she's not like some of the other girls. You can see they've lost a lot of weight since the
Oh
first,
my
especially like
god.
Kimberly.
Kimberly. Oof.
You can tell she's lost a lot of weight, but like Layton's got a little thick. I'm like, okay, girl, I see what you're
Yes.
doing there. I'm here for it. But I like it. I like the coming out storyline that she's had. I like how I like how she just kind of like threw it out there. Like I feel like a lot of us have these very well planned out coming out stories. Like we've written it out, we've rehearsed it, we know how it's going to go, but more times than not, we end up just blurting it.
Yep.
Me, I came out to my mom after after a drunken breakup
Oh, wow.
in college when I was in the band room. I just called my mom and was like, "Mother, I'm gay."
Oh, wow.
And then hung up. And then like the next morning I was like, "Oh, I did that, huh? We're not going home this weekend."
Oh my god. That's a crazy way to come out to your mom.
I would not recommend. Not the best way to do it. She rebounded really good. She's been really
Oh.
awesome, but not would not recommend alcohol during a coming out story.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. You hear that, listeners? Do it sober, okay?
Yeah, don't drink and come out. It doesn't work good.
Well, thank you so much, Tori, for being on the show and for recapping the episode. And would love to have you back. If you don't finish the season, maybe for a different show. Who knows if we're going to get a fourth season?
If they bring Gigi back in the finale, fuck it. I'll buckle the hell up for that.
Yep.
But yeah, I would love to come back. Anything's down. Like I said I'm not gonna watch it. I say that about every episode after this.
Right.
And I've watched it twice since it's come out. So like I'm a liar. So I'll be
We're gonna
watching
watch
the
it.
next one.
Yeah.
I'm totally gonna watch it.
All right, listeners, make sure you are subscribed. That way you stay up to date with all of our latest episodes. I will be back next week to recap episode 5. And we'll talk at you later.
Bye.